the VCMM network. The following broadcast is solely for the enjoyment and entertainment of our audience. This is the Blue Collar Minutemen Show. Let's go, Brandon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blue Collar Minutemen Show. Hey, glad you're with us. And here in Kentucky, we got a nice snowy day.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, how's it going?
Fantastic. Just want to give a shout out to the 31st anniversary of Desert Storm. All the men and women who went and fought in that war. Happy anniversary.
Including yourself.
Thank you.
Justin, how's it going this morning, man?
Not too bad until I seen all that white stuff on the ground. I don't do snow.
I've been inside all day, so I'm just chilling.
Yeah, I don't even want to look outside a window right now.
Oh, well, folks, we got a lot of stuff to go over with. And of course, you'll be seeing the show a little bit day later. Sorry for our difficulties on getting the show out Sunday. But hey, we got you today. So appreciate you following along, those who watch us. And let's kick this off. Justin, we were just talking about what's going on over in Virginia, man.
Yeah. Oh. I'm starting to like this Youngkin guy. I really like this guy. And he just I think she was getting sworn in today, or it may have already happened. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Lieutenant Governor Winsome was being sworn in today.
Yes. Let me see if I can find her full name. Winsome Sears.
Yes.
Sears. Mrs. Winsome Sears. First Black woman to be or to hold the position of Lieutenant Governor in the state of Virginia. Well done. I couldn't be happier for the constituents in Virginia. Man, you guys got it going on.
But, you know, Justin, I thought there was so much systemic racism that Black people couldn't advance in this country.
You know what? She said, she has a quote, and she said that I am the living embodiment of what this country is going to be, or what we're doing. And I completely agree with that. Now, I'm not saying, now, by no means do I speak for all minorities. I'm not like Jesse Jackson, the spokesman of my race. No. My opinions are my opinions. You agree? If you don't. Sorry about that. Phone started ringing. But
that's all right.
If you agree with him, if you don't, if you do, cool. But you know something? I like where she is going with this. And she was, first Black woman in the state of Virginia, in the southern state. That's impressive with all this racism going on. Yes, I'm not saying that racism does not happen. I've had my bouts with it throughout my life, but you know something? I am not going to make it an excuse to slow me down in where I'm going. And you know something? She's proof of that.
Yep.
I'm proud of her, and good luck, Youngkin, with all your cleaning house.
I was going to say, Bill, what do you think about Youngkin over there? How they came
Well,
in?
he's coming in with a storm. I tell you, him and the Attorney General. The Attorney General went in there and like fired 30 people straight out of the Justice Department, just like, you're gone. And then opened up a couple investigations. One being into the high school that kind of hid that kid being molested there by the quote unquote guy who thought he was a girl in the bathroom thing. Yeah, they tried to bury that. Well, he started a criminal investigation into that whole school district. And it just sounds to me like you're not going to recognize that state here in a couple of days.
No.
Well, another thing that I like that he did too is on his first day, he went on and banned critical race theory in the school system.
Yep.
One of the best things that could have been done. I mean,
right. Why are we teaching kids to to hate white kids. Isn't that like the reverse? I'm sorry, it's stupid. Man,
Yes.
you want to, if you really want to know how we change society, it starts with our kids, and that's not the way to go about it.
No.
I have taught kids for the last 7 years. Raised my own. You know something? I've learned one thing. Kids want to play. They don't
Yeah.
care with who, with what, especially with what. You turn around, they got a stick and using it as a weapon or something. But man, kids will play with other kids.
Yeah.
It's the parents and the ideology of the family that gets influenced.
Exactly.
So
And that's stuff that they were pushing in the school system is not for the school system. Kids need to be
No.
there to learn. And let's just face it, to quote an old saying, go back to the writing, reading, and arithmetic and learning history.
yeah.
You know,
Man.
leave the political stuff out to the politicians.
And please teach history for what it was. Yes,
Exactly.
bad crap happened throughout history. We're going to make our same mistakes. Society needs to be judged, or people need to look at society as a living entity that is growing. You know, it take everybody from we've all made these mistakes. And if you look at it, man, we've made the mindset of each generation, man, we're getting better and better. Now we have other idiots that try to influence that. You know, you got your Hitler, Stalins, and now we got oh, I'm a victim, I'm hurt. Somebody hurt my feelings.
We got our woke population. We got our
Yeah.
woke.
See, that's just adolescence right there. That's all that is. They'll grow up one day and realize, you know what? This is what happens when you don't whip your children's behinds and tell them no.
Right.
But you hurt my feelings. You know what, man? In the grand scheme of things, your feelings, I don't care. I'm trying to progress mine, and you can believe that me growing personally on a personal level, I haven't been a little pissed off about the situations or things that have happened to me. You know what? Got two choices: drive on or whine. Sit there in your own misery.
Right. But that's what's going on in Virginia, folks. You know, they're on the right track, and hats off to them. You know, I put a post out on Facebook. I said, I think every state needs a DeSantis and possibly now a Youngkin leading their state, because yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, man, these guys are going to be front runners in the next election coming up.
Right.
I guarantee we're going to see DeSantis and him on that ticket somewhere.
But Bill, what else you got going on? I mean, we've got a whole lot to go
Oh,
over,
Lord.
but there was so much.
It's just been a whirlwind of stuff going on. Some of the things that I think we were talking about was, did you get the new guidelines from the CDC on the N95 masks?
No, I don't think I
Have you
did.
seen that one? That one's a new one. Okay. The CDC now, after 2 years, has finally admitted those homemade cloth masks don't work. After 2 years of pushing these cloth masks, the CDC has now admitted they don't work. You must have now an N95 protective mask. They even suggest wearing a respirator.
No way.
Yes, that's the new guideline. The cloth masks don't work, according to the CDC.
So
Where have we already heard that for 2 years? Haven't we been saying that for 2 years?
I know it. I know.
That's the new guidelines.
All it does is restrict your breathing. It doesn't block anything.
They're asking
Right.
people to start wearing N95 masks.
But still, even the N95s, okay.
That's today. Okay. But that's the new guidelines. The
So
N95.
So let me ask you this. Here's something to think about. If they're pushing the N95s, who has stock in the N95 masks?
Well, apparently Biden does now because he's pushing them.
Okay,
Of
so
course.
that then brings the question up. If they, another year or two down the road, they say the N95s don't work, and then they say, okay, you all need to wear mop gear.
Yeah,
That
those
means
you
somebody-
military guys out there, you veterans, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Mop level 4. Going to the grocery
I'll be-
store. Got to get a mop level 4.
Maybe
I'm not
I
gonna
need
lie.
to,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, maybe I'll have to invest stock in mop gear at that point to start pushing it.
I'm gonna start creating a like a fake channel, and I'm gonna see how far I can push stupidity. And I'm gonna be like, "Yo, man, if you cut a hole in a hefty bag and then put your body in it, and then duct tape it around, and then put a what is it called a Ziploc bag over your head, and make sure you get that tourniquet really tight, man, and that'll keep you from getting anything." And we'll just see. Hey, man, it's a guaranteed way to not get COVID. See how many people do it. But then again, I'll get sued for somebody dying. So
Yeah, exactly.
no common sense, no personal accountability anymore.
I just wanted to throw that out because that's their new guidelines now. It's got to be an N95 mask.
See, okay. Y'all see the money spending. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
I guess
Whatever.
the next thing up is SCOTUS.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Supreme Court, Justin.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This week, in case you all didn't know, I don't know how much it was covered on mainstream media because I don't watch mainstream media, but the Supreme Court of the United States gave all of America a big win this week.
Yes.
Except
Well, with an exception,
with an exception.
Yeah.
but we still won on the part that as far as businesses go and OSHA cannot mandate a vaccination for workers. That is an overstep of what OSHA is supposed to be there for. That is not their department. They cannot do it. And Biden can't make businesses mandate a vaccine for their people. So them kicking that down has been a win. But Bill, you said the exception.
The exception is hospital health workers in hospitals that accept Medicare and Medicaid. They can still mandate the vaccines.
To their work, to the
The
nurses.
the hospital can still mandate that they get the vaccine.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that one, but as far as the regular businesses, it was a big win.
Yeah. Now, what people should understand about that though as well, that let's say you work for a company, it's local business, it's kind of growing. It's still up to that business owner, whoever runs that business, whether they want their employees to take the vaccine or not.
Right.
So-
But it's
so-
not being forced on that business owner.
No, it's not being forced
as it
now.
was. Now it's
Yeah.
totally up to that private business owner. If he wants to make his people do it, hey, that's his business. He can do what he wants to do with it.
Right.
Say that again, one more time.
They can't be forced to initiate the mandates or to initiate the vaccines, but it's a private business. So if they want to do it, it's their business. They can do what they want, but they're not being forced to do it.
Okay, so it's all up to the owner of the business.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is the way it should be. It's,
Yeah.
I agree.
if it's your business, you should be able to do what you want, not
Right.
be
Yeah,
forced to do something by the government.
That is the whole point that we've been trying to make. And that's what a lot of us anti-maskers have been, well, I don't want to say all of us are anti-maskers or carry that label because that's not just a blanket term. This mask mandates, most of our problems with it were, you cannot force me to do a damn thing.
Mhm.
No, it is up to me and mine. I will run my family. If I have a business, I run it the way I choose. And I
Right.
completely agree with that. I'm not against people that want to wear the mask. They can freaking wear a spacesuit for all I give a damn. I'll still be cool with them. I mean, I might think they look a little ridiculous, but hey, that's just me. I mean, I'm 41 years old and I have a mohawk, so people may think I'm a jackass, whatever. But that's all what it was about from the beginning was, man, the federal government has no business telling me at my level what I can and cannot do.
Right. And that's what we've all been saying. The federal government cannot have so much control over the populace. The Constitution was written so that didn't happen. That's the whole
Mhm.
point of all of this. And the states, and Bill has said it in the past before, the states actually have more power than the federal government.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
right.
That's not the way the Constitution was written up when they tell us you better be wearing masks in your home. You better be social distancing at your home. Biden, come right through that door and tell me that and see what happens.
That just reminded me, he did make a stupid comment back before Christmas or Thanksgiving and said, if you have holidays at your families, make sure your family is vaccinated. And if they're not, make sure you social distance at your gatherings and wear a mask. And I'm thinking, with my family? You dumbass.
Like, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, you may not be intimate with your wife, but don't count me in on that. What's wrong with y'all? That's my business, fool.
What were you going to say, Bill?
Distance.
Just a second.
Oh, Bill's got something coming up. I can see his wheels turning. Smoke's coming out of his ears. Yeah, so Bill, what else we got?
Well, what about the trucker mandate that Canada put in place? Ours got shot down, but the Canadians went ahead with their part of the deal because, Biden and Trudeau had a little deal going there. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think the people need to know about that. See, what we're talking about, if you all didn't know, first off, Biden made a deal with Trudeau up in Canada. And the deal was that all the truck drivers were going to be mandated to take the vaccine. And that way trade can go back and forth through Canada, as it's been doing for years. But Canada was going to mandate everyone in Canada have the vaccine. And Biden stated that he was going to mandate everyone here to take the vaccine, truck drivers. And of course, that got here in the United States. So there was no mandate for the truckers here in the United States to take the vaccine. It's going to be left up to their choice, but if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. Now, what does that mean for us? If you haven't looked at store shelves are getting empty because truckers from Canada can enter the United States, but truckers from the US going into Canada cannot enter Canada unless they have a vaccination card.
Right.
And
That
Bill-
went into effect today.
Yeah.
Now, 1/3 of all of our supplies comes from Canada.
1/3, huh?
1/3 of all of our supplies come from Canada. Now, the Canadians can come here and get the stuff from us and take it back to Canada. But our truckers are being stopped at the border without a vaccination card and can't go into Canada to get stuff to bring back here. So now think about what those shelves are going to look like.
And Justin,
1/3.
you just said it a second ago. What did you say? What good does a mask do if you can't eat? If
Yeah,
you can't fill the
right.
shelves.
Yeah, man, these animal rights activists are gonna get pissed when we start hunting and shit out of season. So we're screwed one way or the other. We're not gonna wear a mask. We're pissed the millennial liberal off, and then we'll piss the rest of them off when we start hunting and shit. So, hey
Well,
man, I ain't above eating squirrel.
No, But this is, of course, we live in rural area, and we have that luxury. People living in these big liberal cities, New York,
yeah.
Chicago.
There's all kinds of squirrels in Central Park. Come on.
But you know what? I'm
Right.
sure a lot of them don't know how to use a gun. They'll probably do population control just by accident.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what, guys? Stick to live traps for now until you work your way up.
But
Oh,
folks, we're
man.
telling
So,
you.
let me ask you, or, well, actually, not really a question, but 1/3 of our goods and services come from Canada, or are being transported through Canada.
Mhm,
We've already gotten our ports shut down.
mhm.
That was one part of our logistics to bring in goods and services into this country. Ports are getting shut down. Well, now we're getting them from Canada. Now that's getting shut down.
Mhm.
Slowly crippling this economy yet again. Adding to the stress and the nightmare for people trying to just go to work and live their life.
Yep. Now, I said it before, and y'all, you don't have to quote me. You don't have to take it as gospel. This is just me thinking out loud. I said it once before. If you're holding a military operation, you want to shut down communication, and you want to shut down the supply chain of your enemy. Just saying.
What's next?
Yeah.
You
Just
can't
what
feed.
just saying.
You can't feed or supply your defense. What defense are you going to have?
Well, let me ask y'all this question. Have you all seen any of the video and films coming out of California right now where they're actually unloading goods and service goods from the ships and they're putting them on trains, but the trains are being hijacked before they get out of Los Angeles? Have you seen those yet?
No.
No, I haven't
They
seen
are,
that.
they have, you're not going to see this probably on the mainstream media because it would really tick some people off. These trains are coming through, these freight trains are coming through off the port of Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego and all through there. And they're being hijacked by mobs on their way out of the port. And there's just pictures of tons of trash where people ripped open all these boxes and shit that are in, food and stuff that are in these train cars. They're just, I mean, there's already been like 7 or 8 complete trains stopped and looted before they can make it out of the port city.
Wow.
Dang, man, that's nuts.
I mean, it was,
I would say those guys need to go grab a weapon and defend themselves, but this is California.
yeah.
Well, I don't even know what to say about that. That is some problems because we know the state that California is in anyway with their liberal woke government. And so if it's the people of California trying to survive, I ain't got nothing to say. You got to do what you got to do. But
And a lot of those people that were living in California are now moving to Texas.
what were you going to say there, Bill?
I just like it's some of it, I believe, is people hungry, looting these trains, but I'd say the majority of it is let's steal it and sell it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I say you're right.
There's some sort of a organized criminal element going on.
And folks, you all have to realize all of this was started and created because of the 80+ million votes that Biden got. That has never happened before in our history of a president getting that many votes. Just saying. And this administration. It's ridiculous. And since I mentioned that, I'll segue into this next subject. I don't know how much time we got left, but this Biden administration has slowly degraded this country. And the best example I can think of it is when someone once told me is like, you put a dog on a chain, and then every day you shorten that link. You take a link out of that chain and you shorten the distance that dog has. And then next thing you know, that dog can't go any further than 4 or 5 links of the chain that's left. I feel like that's what's happening here.
Yeah, we're
And
slowly
He doesn't
being
notice
manipulated.
it. He doesn't notice it right away if you just take one chain out at a time. So
yeah,
then until he just can't go nowhere, then he's like, wait a minute. And it's too late then.
and I'm feeling like that's exactly where we're at right now with everything that's going on. Folks, you got to open your eyes.
No,
But
I'm.
what's
Go
that,
ahead.
Justin?
Oh, I was just gonna say, man, nobody over here is telling you not to. We don't think you should be wearing a mask. No, that's not what we're about. What we're saying is you have the right to make that decision for yourself and your family.
Right.
Do what's right for you.
Yeah,
Yep.
man, I'm not gonna complain on what you're doing at your house. And besides, that's none of my business anyways. But
One
we
thing we're
need to
trying-
have, we all need to have that freedom to be able to make that choice.
Right. We're just trying to get you to see that this chain is slowly getting shorter, and you may not realize it. But
That's right.
there is one person who's staying in the fight, fighting hard, and that's Rand Paul.
Yeah, I kind of like that guy.
If you all have not seen this, Rand Paul is out to get Fauci put in prison. His exchanges with Fauci have been priceless here of late.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Bill has a video clip ready, but
Now, but it's amazing. I mean, he has just been going on, and he's eventually going to get it because Fauci comes up with the dumbest answers to his questions and will actually not answer his question. He will answer everything else in the world and call Rand Paul a crazy money grabbing politician, but he won't answer his question.
Let's see how much money he's making with all these mask mandate, the vaccinations. What about Fauci? I know he's getting kickbacks.
oh, son, yeah, he's getting kickbacks. Not only that, but I think it's funny too that Project Veritas released documents that Rand Paul then used against Fauci.
Right.
And
Right.
And Justin, I don't think I sent you these documents, and I think we touched on it last time. I can't remember, but Project Veritas released documents that showed back in 2018 where I can't remember what lab it was, but they went before DARPA and the Marine Corps Commandant wanting to get funding for this research. And
What research?
it was basically gang of function research on the bat coronavirus.
No. Why would anyone want to do that?
Oh yeah.
Why?
And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, go to Project Veritas if you want to look at that information, because you're not going to find it anywhere else. But the documents state that this lab went to DARPA and the Marine Corps to get funding. And the Marine Corps Commandant, it's stated in there where he's talking, and you read the documents, he said that we weren't going to do it because this was too close to gang of function research.
So what did they do when they got turned down?
When they got turned down, they went around DARPA and the Marine Corps, and they went to Dr. Fauci.
Oh my God. Do you mean they went to his institute there? It's what is it? The NIL, NIA, something like that?
Uh-huh.
Did they get funding?
Ooh, Fauci got them the funding that they needed, and he did it in a way of different backdoor channels.
Hmm.
And like I said, Rand Paul is on to this,
Hmm.
but it all comes back to Fauci.
Just another political tool.
You know,
Wait.
he is the highest paid person in the entire United States government, right?
Paid more than the president of the
Paid
United
more than the
States?
president of the United States.
Hmm.
Yeah. He is the highest paid person in the US government.
You know, that just.
And
brings
he's an
me to
appointee. He's not elected to anything.
An appointee, huh?
Mhm.
You know, in this country, I think over the last 20 years or 30 years, you know, we pushed education and said, yeah, don't grow up to be an idiot, get yourself educated and everything. Well, let me tell you something. This guy's an MD, whatever. Education does not equal intelligence.
No.
You can be an idiot and still be book smart, I guess you should say.
We've said it time and time again. You know, person like Fauci, he's given money. The people that we have in this administration is all about money. They're included. They're the ones that want to make it. They're the ones who want to have it. They're the ones who want to get it from you by taxing you on everything.
Mm-hmm.
You all should see at this point this web of, you know, years ago you thought it was a conspiracy, but you should see this web for what it actually is. They're trying to just literally get all the money and them have it, and then them be them versus us, and us will be everybody else in America who works or who doesn't have a job.
Yep.
So, but Rand Paul's doing the fight. He's taking it to Fauci, and like I said, Project Veritas is right there helping him. And of course, I've heard everybody called Project Veritas said that they need to be arrested for what they're doing. They're not journalism. You know, they're not journalists. They're undermining the administration. And ever since Project Veritas has come out, I don't think undermining the administration is what they're doing. They're just giving you the truth so that you know
Yep.
what they're doing. Same thing
Yeah,
we're doing.
For those of you out there that don't know, Veritas is Latin for truth, Project Truth. And I got to tell you, man, I haven't done a great deal of research on them, but I like what they have to say for the most part at this point. That could change years a while down the road, but man, if you're all about just getting the truth out there to the people, then I got you. Well done. Keep going for it. But as long as all these, we go to great lengths to make sure that what we put out there is just baseline facts.
Right.
And not everybody else is interested in that, but we are.
Exactly. Bill, where we're at on time?
About 6 minutes left.
Okay. Got anything else that we want to touch on real quick? Or?
Couple things that just agitate me is the nonchalant way that this administration is addressing the high inflation.
Mhm.
They're saying, now get this, okay, we all know this cannot be true. Did you know they're touting this week that the unemployment rate is down to 3.5?
No, but I don't
Really?
think it's, yeah.
And what they're saying is, well, what the experts are saying is that's because they're not even counting the people who are not looking for a job or the people who quit a job, because we had the highest number of people quit their job in December than any time in the history of the United States. More people walked off the job. So where did all those unemployed people go? They're just not going to count them because they walked off the job. We're only counting the people that put in new unemployment claims. not the ones that's been putting unemployment claims in since this pandemic started, but the
Mhm.
new ones, and that's only 3%.
Manipulation of numbers.
Yes, exactly. And what did Jen say about the inflation? Remember what she said?
Oh, if
said-
you just stop buying
Yeah,
stuff.
if you just stop buying stuff, you're not going to notice the inflation.
You know what, man? What do you? Isn't that like killing the patient to
She-
cure the disease?
She gets paid for this. She actually gets a paycheck to come up with
Oh
this
my
stuff.
God, we'll just stop buying them. Man, that just reminds me of like that old Nancy Pelosi. What's wrong with unemployment? It just gives them a chance to chase their dreams.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
God.
gosh. Well, I want to address one more thing real quick. This is just something for you all to keep watch of. I don't have a lot of comments on it, but this is just something for you to keep your eye on. Of course, yesterday there was a hostage situation out in Texas.
Mm.
Mhm.
The shooter was the gunman, the hostage taker was killed at the end of this. There wasn't much information given out. And I saw a news thing today, and I don't know if you all know this or not, but first off, the hostage taker took hostages in a synagogue, which, as we know,
Yeah.
that is a Jewish place of worship. Okay. As soon as this came out, I had a little thing go off in my head, and I thought, I wonder what this has to do with the Jewish folk. So I'll try to put this up here where you all can see it. I don't know if you all can see it or not. Let's see.
That's nice. It's
Not
blurred
really.
out. Yeah, it's blurred out.
Yeah, it's blurred out. But they basically said the guy's name today was, and I'll probably butcher this, Malik Faisal Akram, Muslim. Now, so apparently he has ties to some other folks who are in Britain right now. So the FBI is investigating his ties with these other folks that are in Britain working with MI. FBI is working with MI6, I guess, to find out what their connection is there. But
What was
They
his
didn't.
demands?
his demands, get this, his demands were that a person who was convicted of terrorism, and I'll probably butcher this name, she's a female, Afani Siddiqui, however that's spelled. She was convicted and imprisoned for attempting to bomb US soldiers in Afghanistan. I'm not a genius, folks, and don't claim to be, but this story will be interesting to follow, at least to see how mainstream media spins it, or if they ever touch on it at all.
Well, what did they say? The only news story I saw so far on the mainstream media, we got the guy's name, we
Mhm.
got who he wanted released, we got who he has ties with. But then the news story is, well, we can't find any evidence that shows he was actually had anything against the Jewish people.
Yeah, I remember hearing that from the FBI commander on the scene. And whenever they did their press conference after the fact, after the gunman was killed and the hostages were rescued, he went on. Everybody went on there and said, "Oh, it's got nothing to do with them being Jewish." I'm like,
Right.
okay, it may have not been the whole point. It was just he took hostages to get these people, his people released. But man, that's kind of stretching it there, man. He didn't just go in. It's hard to say what that was going on. The guy's in it, just another.
Lifelong enemies. But
Yeah.
no, there's nothing between them.
Just like
Yeah.
that traitor. What was that psychiatrist's name at Fort Hood?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The Army
I
Major
forgot. Yeah, that freaking guy.
Hassan
I left it.
Hussein.
Hassan, that's
Yeah.
it. I think.
Yeah,
Well, I
that
left
was it.
Fort Hood. My unit did you moved from Fort Hood to Fort Knox, Kentucky, and we left like maybe most of us left like 2 weeks before that happened, and our barracks were right across the street from that place. But yeah, I remember that nonsense, and this guy, man, lifelong members or lifelong people that hate the U.S.
Well, not only that, they're been at war with
Israel
Israel's-
and yeah.
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 Oh, there's no connection.
Okay.
Yeah,
but-
that seems like a pretty damn big connection to me. Well, actually, one of the biggest conflicts, the
Right.
longest running conflicts in history.
Yeah. And you know, like I said, I'm just bringing this up just to make sure you all have the information. You all come to your own judgment. We have our own theories, but this will be something to keep your eye on. Just watch and see what they say. And we know you all are smart people, and you all probably might think along the same lines as we do. But
If you can hear it in the background, Bill's dog agrees.
yeah. But we got anything else, boys?
That's about it, I think.
Justin, final word.
Man, with all this nonsense going on, yes, it really seems that, you know, we're on one side of a debate and then there's a lot of people on the other side, but that still does not mean we cannot work together. All right, there's got to be some healing in this country, and then we got to acknowledge the past. But you know what? Like I've said this before on this podcast, to quote Dr. Tony Evans, an amazing Christian evangelist, there's a reason why our rear view mirror is only this big and our windshield is this big. It's more important where we're going. We need to look back in that little rear view to see where we've been so we don't make those same mistakes. But man, look through that windshield, look forward, be kind to people, help where you can. And if you need help, for God's sakes, please ask.
Brody.
Man, whether it's mental, physical, things you need to do around the house, man, don't believe what media is trying to convince you that everybody's against everyone else. Man, we're in Kentucky. Man, I have met the kindest, most generous people here. And I came from an inner city. So man, turn off your televisions once in a while, go out and talk to your neighbors and get to know them, man. Be there for each other. There's so much division and all this going on. This is how we combat that in every house or in this country, period. If every household, like another thing that Dr. Tony Evans said, man that's in good control of his family builds him up. You got a bunch of families that like that, man. Then you got a community standing up for each other. Man, if we could do that, can you imagine how we would actually live up to our name, the United States.
Right.
So guys, please be kind to each other, respect each other's opinion, and just be good, man. Take
Yep.
care of one another. That's all I got to say.
Bill, any word?
No, I just gotta put this dog out. He's getting vocal.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again. And we appreciate you, all you guys who watch us. And make sure that when you watch the video, like, subscribe, and even share the video with other folks. You know, get us out there a little bit. And you can always find us. We're still on YouTube. So you can find us YouTube. You can find us at BitChute. Find us at Rumble. Those places you can find our videos. You can also check out our website at bluecollarminutemen.com. We'll put the video up there. Also on the website, email us. There's a link down on the page where you can just click on it and you can send your comments in the email. And our email is bluecollarminutemen@protonmail.com. And we'd like to hear your comments and what you thought about the show. And if you even have ideas for a show, let us know. We're on Facebook, Spreely, MeWe, and I think that's it right now. Trump's coming out with his new,
Trump's coming out with a new one, yeah.
Trump's coming out with a new one called Social Truth. And I actually just heard about Getter over the weekend, Bill. I don't know if it's something that you know
We
about.
tried that, but it didn't go over.
Getter
very
didn't
well.
work out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't know, but hey, that's it for us here at Blue Collar Minutemen. Hope you all enjoy the rest of this week. And if you're where we're at, hope you all enjoy the snow. But hey, God bless you all. God bless America. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.